Hello, my name is Andrew. You might recognize me from the show Worth It, where I'm usually tasting foods at different price points with my pals Steven and Adam. In this video, I'm going to be making one of my favorite things I ever had on Worth It, soy milk. Not just any soy milk, but the freshly made soy milk we had at Lujiao Shuizhenbao in our dumpling episode in Taiwan. Having that soy milk was a real holy crap moment for me.
What? I didn't know that's what soy milk's supposed to taste like.
I had never tasted freshly made soy milk before. My previous experience was just having the store-bought stuff. After having that soy milk, I felt like such an idiot because I thought I knew what soy milk tasted like, but then I had this and I was like, yeah, of course there's great, delicious, rich tasting soy milk. I think making this recipe will help me explore something that I'm really interested in, which is the fundamentals of why something tastes good.
Holy sh**.
Soy milk is one of those food things that seems very simple and singular, kind of like butter, but it has this incredible potential for flavor that is actually very nuanced and complex. So to start off, I'm gonna be speaking with Miss Lu and Inka, who is also on that trip with us. It's so nice to see you again.
好久不见.
Long time no see, Andrew.
Yeah, and Inka, thank you as well for joining me on this call. Inka, I want to start by asking you a question. I remember when we were filming at Miss Lu's, you were so excited.
Inka, how's the soy milk?
I'm like almost done with it.
really?
I really like the soy milk. This is really good.
And I was wondering if you could just talk about your experience with what you might find in Taiwan.
Soy milk, I feel like in Taiwan especially, it's just like such a common drink. You know, it's like something that you enjoy by itself. And also there's so much you can do with soy milk. Tofu, tofu pudding, dried bean curd. One of our most famous desserts, tofu pudding, is made with soy milk.
How would you describe the flavor of great soy milk?
这道豆浆就黄豆的香，其实它怎么讲，就跟他们的就类似咖啡，也是有分很多种品种，然后黄豆它要经过熬煮，才可以把它的里面的养分，味道。煮出来.
You know, your shop has a relatively small menu. I was wondering why it's also important for you to offer this freshly made soy milk at this shop as well.
比较健康。这个我在我店里面做哈，是等于说现做，用最传统的方式做，所以它才可以做出最原始的味道。
Thank you again, Miss Liu, for sharing with me and talking to me.
好，加油！
All right, so we've got our ingredients, which it turns out is just soybean water and then a little sugar to sweeten it when it's done, which makes me scared because in my experience, every time I've had to make a recipe where the ingredient list is very short, it usually goes horribly wrong. I also have to thank Miss Lu. She actually adapted the recipe that they use in her restaurant to a home version and then tested that for me. Oh God. I mean, is it stupid to say that it just smells like a bean? Like a green bean. God, 500 grams of soybeans. Our first step is to wash and soak these for 6 hours. So here we have our soaked soybeans. What's interesting is that they go from being balls to being more of a traditional bean shape. It just occurred to me that I have no idea what a soybean plant looks like. Yeah, it looks like a lot of other beans. And I've had edamame before, of course. So I'm gonna strain this water off. Put this back in the pot here. I'm now adding 6 cups of water, and then we are going to blend these soybeans. This is the part that might go wrong for me. Miss Lu had a nice high-powered blender. I'm using my stick blender again, so. Also, I haven't tasted a soybean because I was doing some other research. It could really upset your stomach, possibly hurt you eating the uncooked soybean. But you know what I just noticed? These soybeans look like a pot of Yukon Gold potatoes. Can we get a shot of that real quick? It's crazy how much a single soybean looks like a potato. Just kidding, that was a potato. But look at these soybeans. Doesn't it look like a pot of potatoes from really far away? Come on. Come on, that was good, right? Nice potato trick. Miss Lu does this for several minutes, so I think I really need to get like a fine grain paste inside of here. It already smells really good in its blended state. It has like a delightful, like enticing frothiness to it. here we have our soy milk ground up slurry. So Miss Lou has these filter bags that she pours all of her ground up soybeans into. I was only able to find cheesecloth, but I saw other recipes using cheesecloth, so it should be fine. It also feels appropriate to use cheesecloth because this method is very similar to the method that's used to make tofu. I believe the only difference is that you would use a coagulating agent, and making tofu is therefore a lot like making cheese. Okay. Oh, it's actually really not pouring through as quickly as I thought it would. Oh, I overfilled my satchel here a little bit, trying really hard to get all this stuff out. It's such a dense blob right now. There's a lot more water to extract from here, but you really gotta squeeze hard. I'm now going to take these ground soybeans, drop them into a side bowl. The color is actually very pretty. It's very buttery. So that was a third of the soybeans. I'm gonna try to do a little less. I think I'll have an easier time squeezing out. So now that we've done the first squeeze, Miss Lou suggests adding another 3 cups of water to the ground soybean to extract even more liquid from this ground soybean. Give this a quick stir. I don't know if it's just the sunset lighting over here, but I'm finding this an incredibly relaxing experience. Something about cheesecloth that just kind of conveys a rustic cooking process kind of vibe. Coarse materials are very cozy. Okay, we've strained our soy milk and now it's time to boil. Welcome to the stove area. So I've cleaned the second pot, and the next step is actually to transfer all of the squeezed soy milk liquid into the second pot. And then I have a residue in the first pot that's supposed to brown a little bit. Not burn, but just brown, and then that flavor will impart into the rest of the soy milk. Most of the liquid has evaporated. I'm starting to see a little browning. I really don't want to burn this. Yeah. It's getting kind of like a toasted popcorn smell to it. I'm pouring it now. Actually supposed to use a whisk. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit because I feel the soy milk that charred on the bottom is still there. I see that there's some kind of like toasted solids that are now kind of floating around. They're also on my whisk. I don't think that's too big of a concern because we're actually going to put this through the cheesecloth again after it boils. Oh my God. Very nearly had a disaster on my hands. Okay, the soy milk is boiled. Pour the milk back through my cheesecloth. So this seems to have taken out most of the charred bits. And now I'm just going to return this to a boil. Okay, the soy milk is now boiling. The last ingredient is just a little bit of sugar to sweeten the deal. Soy milk is often enjoyed hot, but I want to have it as close to the experience that I had at Miss Lou's back in Taiwan, which was cool. I'll chill it in the refrigerator overnight, and tomorrow we may taste. I made a lot of soy milk. This is, especially in this jar, I kind of feel like a milkman. All right, so I think there's not much else to do but to, you know, there's a lot of condensation happening here. I think it's just time to have some soy milk. There is something very pleasing about a glass of milk. Okay, cheers. Wow, tastes really good. Hold on, let's It's very good. I think I'm very pleased and relieved that I didn't royally screw this up, but it was a very simple method. It has a very pleasant thickness to it. It really tastes like a full fat product. So out of curiosity, I actually bought some store-bought soy milk to do a side-by-side. Way less fragrant than the store-bought one. The visual viscosity between these seems to be the same, you know? They seem equally liquidy, yet this one tastes so much thinner than mine. All right, so there's my soy milk. I had a lot of fun making this. Thank you again so much to Miss Lou for guiding me through this process. It kind of changes your whole perspective on what a thing is, all foods have a similar potential, but too often we confine them to one category or use. I think that's very interesting.